doing?
DoorDash. Yeah, same.
You obviously spent a good bit of time with Caleb. I mean, I know you're coaching, to face the defense, but what did you take from your time with Caleb, and what have you seen from him so far at the pro level?
Yeah, tremendous person, competitor, freaky talent. Watching the stuff he do in practice and in the games, his ability, his feel, really, really special. I mean, he's going to be one of the top guys in the league for a lot of years. And so that was cool to get to spend time with him last year.
You also interviewed for the Bears OC job. What was that experience like?
I'll just not going to get into that. Yeah, sorry.
What do you make of Eberflus's defense, and have you seen him evolve recently at all?
Not being their division, I hadn't seen it a ton, but from what I remember, seems to be more, post safety than it was, and very talented group. The personnel on that side of the ball, they've really done a good job putting that thing together. They play hard, they play sound, and they don't make many mistakes. So you got to earn everything against them.
Kind of a specific one. What is the difference between zone read and read option?
That's a great question. I don't even know. I should probably know, but I know zone read. I don't know what zone option is. Yeah.
When you were at USA, I guess Caleb said that part of what you were doing there is helping him kind of get ready to prepare for the NFL. So on a daily basis, what were some of the things that you were doing with him to help in that area?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of a resource there as much as I could be. That was the good thing. Lincoln allowed me to be the good cop, and any knowledge, anything I could share, particularly with him, and we all knew where he was going, and it was kind of a foregone conclusion that he'd be the first pick for a long time. So really just a resource in any way that I could be, helping him, trying to mentally prepare for the things that were ahead.
And then what kind of, how often would you meet with him, and then what things did you learn about him through that process? Yeah,
I was there, all day, every day. I mean, I worked there, so all the meetings I was in, out of practice, so it was like being a full-time coach, just getting to do all the good stuff. And like I said, just a tremendous competitor, wants to be great, works at it, and just insane talent. Some of the freaky, like Mahomes type throws he can make, and the vision, extending plays, the things he can do, and throw off platform was really unique.
You've got a game to prepare for, but whether Jaden plays or not, that's still part of your duties. How has it changed if he's with him not doing as much at the moment, I guess? How has that changed your responsibilities, or has that put more on other coaches to help him while you're helping Marcus? Yeah,
I mean, DQ set up a great plan. I won't get into the details of it, but just to make sure that both guys are getting enough reps and getting a comfort level with the plays we're going to have in that they can go operate. Marcus hadn't taken a snap with our offense in 68 days prior to the game, and came in and performed really at a high level and made a bunch of plays. So that was good to see, and it takes a unique person and player to do that. And so we feel really good about trying to get him some reps this week, and we're just going to take it from there.
And Ben Sinnott, Dan made the comment the other day, like, boy, you got to clearly throw in the ball all the time. It's catching a touchdown. Mm-hmm. How has he been progressing, and do you see this may be a start of him being even more involved than he has been to this point?
Yeah, definitely. His first catch was a touchdown, and the play was called Taylor Swift, so you can't really beat that to start your NFL scoring career. So he was stoked about it, but he's been getting better and better. I think the game's slowing down for him. He's a tremendous talent, can do a bunch of different things with his run game, pass game, very physical, was well coached at Kansas State, so understands the run game scheme at a high level for being a guy who can be involved as much as he is in the pass game. So we're excited about his future. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. But that's a good one. We'll use that again.
How long have you had a play named after Taylor Swift in your playbook? Is this new?
Yeah, this was new this year. So we probably carried it 3 weeks and just finally got to calling it.
I know you hate comparing quarterbacks, but how did coaching Caleb kind of prepare you for coaching Jaden and this offense?
Yeah, I think you take a little bit from every person along the way, and you find different things and try to figure out what makes them tick and what they do best, and then try to push things that way and tailor the offense towards that. And obviously, Lincoln had a tremendous amount of success with Caleb, so that was already in place and already set, and my deal there was really to help in any way I could. But I think just the competitive nature that he showed. I mean, he would want the ball in his hands in the biggest moments, and almost to a fault sometimes, where he'd kind of pass up maybe an easy check down and be like, hey, I can make a bigger play, or I'm going to get out and do this, because he's that big of a competitor. And it reminded me of the guy I had, at Texas Tech, because it's some of the same stuff early on in his career, doing that.
Early on in the season, Jaden took some hits, both inside the pocket and while rushing. But now that he's dealing with an injury, does that affect the way that you will plan to call plays for him, knowing that he's, vulnerable?
Yeah, I think that's part of what we all have to figure out when it comes down to making the decision if he's going to play or not. It's like you want him to be able to play his game, but you want to almost protect him from himself at times, because he's going to play a certain way. The whole deal. He won't slide, won't do this. Like, he's a fearless competitor, and he's going to attack the moment. And so I think that's just collectively, as an organization, we got to make sure that he's full throttle and can play the way he wants to play before we put him out there.
And I know it's something you guys have worked with and talked about, him sliding and protecting himself and all that. Is there any way for you to make that a bigger point, to make that a stronger message to him, considering now that he's dealing with an injury?
Yeah, the one in the game was tough just because I think he thought he was going to outrun everybody, which he actually can do. So a lot of guys would have slid by that point, but I think he thought he was about to get out and go, and they kind of got him from behind, and it was a tough fall. But he's done a nice job finding the soft spot, and it's going to be a work in progress.
Hey, Coach, this offense has been flowing lately, but what are some of the key things that's standing out that you really like about what you're seeing from the offense at this moment?
Yeah, the biggest thing, two things, ball security and the skill guys playing away from the football, playing without the ball. That's been a huge emphasis. We knew if we took care of the ball and we played hard away from the football and we transitioned to block when our teammates got the ball, that we'd have a chance to make a lot of plays, because we have some dynamic playmakers, and they bought in and have done that. And so guys are finishing plays down the field, they're finishing past the ball, and that's it gives you a greater margin for error when you're playing with that type of effort and that type of tempo.
Can you share why that play was named after Taylor Swift?
The tight ends came up with the name, so you'd have to ask them, but I think he must like Taylor Swift on like a deeper level.
You've worked with an unusual amount of very talented quarterbacks through your career. How has that kind of shaped how you think about building an offense?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I touched on it earlier. It's in this league and pretty much any league, if you don't have one of those top guys, you're good luck. The years of the Ravens playing that great defense and Chicago 85 Bears, those don't exist. We know the league is pushed to make it an offensive league, and that's the entertainment value there. But you got to figure out what they do best and what their comfort level is with certain things, and then build it around that. And so that's what I've tried to do. Had a lot of mistakes over those years doing that, but at this point, I just make sure, first and foremost, they're doing stuff they're comfortable with. They can play at a high level, compete at a high level, and go out there and cut it loose and not have any type of hesitation when they're on the field.
What, if anything, changes for you this week if Marcus is the starter?
Just like I said, he's going to have some concepts that he maybe likes better or that Jaden wouldn't like, and at the end of the week, we always talk through that with whoever's going to be playing. And the backup, we get his sheet as well and be like, hey, which plays do you really like? And they're always different. And so we'll just make sure we tailor it to concepts that he's big on and feels comfortable with, and has gotten enough reps that he knows he can go out there and operate at a high level.
And then for Marcus, you said it was almost 70 days since he had taken a rep. Were you almost surprised how well he ran everything?
No, just because I've seen the professionalism, I've seen the work he puts in, but all those reps he was getting was just the scout team. He's working the scout team, but you see the preparation. I saw how he operated in the spring, and it was basically like, hey, go do what you do. We weren't trying to hold him back or say, hey, play it safe. It was like, we're going to cut you loose, play fast, and go get after him. And that's what he does best. And I think he just embraced the moment. And he's only 30, he's still a tremendous talent, and I think his best football is still ahead of him. I've told him that. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.